It's a blessing to welcome on a top 30 ranked player in the country. He's the newest member of 2023 and the newest member of Blair Academy. Jayden Lemond, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, as I just said, you've made a lot of transition the past couple of weeks. You decided to go into 2023, also transfer out to powerhouse of Blair Academy. Take us through this move and how you feeling.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about the move, not only on the court, but off the court. I just feel like it's a better opportunity for me.
You've kind of asserted yourself and proven that you are a great player. You got offers, but we know no AU. We know the pandemic set in, and this is an opportunity also to go play with a lot of high level guys, Jaylen Blakes, Cuffe, Otega, a lot of big time players. Just take us through how excited you would play with those guys.
Well, I played it with Otega before on a Team Rio in 2019 for 15U, and I like playing with Otega. And I got a chance to work out with both Kyle at a PSA and with Jaylen at some workouts. So I'm just excited to go against them in practice, but also on the court, just go to battle with them.
What led you to this decision? As I said, you had some offers, you're kind of well known, but you go make the jump back down to sophomore class now, 2023. Why is that the route you want to take?
Um, I feel like it's like I mentioned before, like it's a better opportunity for me.
Mhm.
But I feel like it gives me an extra year to work on my body, work on my game in all aspects, and I think it helps me become a better vocal leader.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's go into some of these offers real quick. You have a lot on the table. Who's really talking the most? Who's showing the most interest?
Right now, out of the offers, probably UConn. UConn's been showing me a lot of love.
That's got to be a school that I can imagine a lot of guys are really attracted to. They make the move to the Big East, solid season so far, and now they're landing a lot of big time guys. They really have a heavy, strong suit also on East Coast recruiting right around your area. But how appealing is UConn seeing all this movement they have and this guys from your area going there?
It's actually a big thing. I had a Zoom call with Coach Hurley, Coach Kamani, and the coaching staff, and it went very well. They talked about how they're really guard heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and that was something a lot of Jersey guards like.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of guards from Jersey, so you're gonna get a lot of good guards from Jersey that want to go there and play.
I had Corey on a little bit ago. He's the most recent commit there, and he kind of talked about that, where he knows that since there is such depth of guards, that he might take a bench role or something like that his freshman year because of the amount of guards there. Is that something that you'd be okay with? Would you want to go to college where you start on day one? Kind of discuss what your what kind of traction you want when you go to college.
Definitely start from day one. But also, like, I think it's important. Like, I know they talked about like having that good backcourt. Like, I used to play with Corey when we were in fifth grade, so I know like the decision he made. We talked about it, and like I know what he went through with that stuff. So yeah,
And in terms of UConn, I mean, just Coach Hurley, Coach Kamani Young, these guys are energetic. They're great coaches. Just what's kind of the vibe you get about them when you talk to them?
good vibes, very good vibes. They're not just coaches, but like they're mentors to you as well. They look out for the guys like they're their own. So that's the type of environment I want to be in.
You've got a ways away till you make that big decision, but in terms of coaching staff, what would be like the ideal coach for you? What's the energy level, the playbook, the track record? Like, what are you looking for in a coach?
Someone who's high energy, who has high energy, someone who's going to push me to greater expectations and just better me as a not only a basketball player, but like someone off the court.
You have an offer from a school that I'm not sure the coach with more energy than, and that's Bruce Pearl in Auburn. We know that he's probably one of the most crazy coaches out there. He keeps it real with the guys, but what's your vibe about him? What do you like about Coach Pearl in Auburn?
Well, I got a chance to talk to Coach Pearl and Coach Bauman.
Mm-hmm.
And, you've been watching recently, Sharif's been doing his thing. So I've been watching a lot of that. And I like the vibe from Coach Bruce Pearl. I used to play for Mike Rice, so it's not much difference. But yeah, I like the vibe from Coach Bruce.
A lot of guys say that there's times Coach Pearl can get a little more serious, but when you're talking to him, does he still have the energy? Can you tell he's got a lot of energy when you talk to him, or does he kind of chill it down a little bit when he's kind of recruiting you?
It's kind of chilled down a little bit. You can tell he still has that energy, but it's all good.
And that is a guy that's going to keep it real. He has a fun atmosphere, fun locker room, but you mentioned a key piece there, the point guard play, and that's what you're going to want to look for in college. He's doing his thing with Sharif Cooper right now. He's playing at probably the best guard in the country right now in the past 3 games. How appealing is that to you?
It's very appealing. You know, his height isn't that tall, but he gets it done. I mean, some nights, some days, like the last game, he didn't shoot the ball very well, but his all aspects, defense, passing. I think he just what separates him from a lot of the other guards is that he makes his teammates better. And I don't think a lot of guards can do that on the college level like him.
Maybe one downfall for you, I'm not sure though, is that it's a little further away from home. It's not too close, but is that something that's okay with you? Would you be okay traveling to a state that's not near home for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my grandma she lives in the Georgia area. I know it's not in Alabama, but it's really not that far from the family.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of the schools you have right now, TCU is another high one that just came in recently. They're in the Big 12. It's even further away, but that's just a great program. Big 12 play. We like about TCU.
I liked what like they had to offer on the call, They talked about like being a private university and stuff like that, and like being in the Big 12. They play against great teams like Kansas, Baylor, Texas. All those great teams, and that was something that just like brought my eyes to their attention.
Each kind of conference has a different level play. We know guards are always a key piece for any college program, but what kind of conference, when you look at them, kind of do you think fits you best? Which one kind of have you grown up watching?
Um, well, I feel like I could play anywhere, but like most recently, I felt like SEC and like Pac-12 and ACC as well. I watched a lot of Lonzo Ball growing up, so like seeing him do what he did at the Pac-12 was just different for me. I like that a lot. And then like Tyler Ulis kind of reminds me of Sharif, a guy that just makes his players a lot better. You could tell right now because Auburn started off kind of slow, but now they're catching up. And the ACC, they have a lot of New York guards as well. So like seeing what Ari Davis and stuff like that can do, especially, it's really appealing to me.
You've gone down in depth now on a few different guards. You truly evaluate them, and I've talked to a lot of guys. Not a lot of them evaluate players and truly watch them as well as you do. How much love do you take in that, and how much of a priority does it take for you to really go watch film on players and scout programs, but especially these point guards like Lonzo, like Sharif, like Ulis? How much of a priority is that to you to watch them?
It's definitely a priority. I mean, you got to watch to get better and to see what you need to work on to get to that next level. I didn't just watch like recent guards. Like I watch a lot of like old guards like Kenny Anderson and stuff like that. Like my dad used to have me watch that. So watching a lot of guards it isn't really new to me. It's kind of just sounds something that I do in my free time.
There's one thing about all these guys you mentioned, that is their pass first mentality. They can always score at will too, but they always go for the pass. They're great at setting up the teammates, making them better. How have you implemented that into your game?
I've always been a pass first guard. Like always. That's just something I like to do. I like to pass. Scoring's fun and all, but I
Mhm.
love to pass. I like making the extra pass. I love seeing my guys make that shot. It just brings joy to me.
How have you learned to balance that? Because some guys do take longer to kind of learn. Some guys are just only going to pass. They don't look to score that much. Some guys only like to score a lot, especially when you're in high school, younger ages. How have you learned to kind of use both those aspects to your game?
Uh, well, when I was younger, like my dad used to have me play rec, and then like it stopped after a while. But like playing with kids who weren't as talented, it like taught me to like pass the ball up. Like even though they wouldn't make the layups, I knew like when I was playing like with other better guys, it would help me then. So that's something that helped my game a lot.
I mentioned a couple of different places that are further away from home. UConn's closer, but two even also schools that are close to you. St. John's, Seton Hall, also not offered you before. Where does your relationship stand with those programs?
Relationship is always good. Always talking to Coach Beelmore from Seton Hall and Coach Van Macon from St. John's, and like obviously those are two close to home schools, and there's nothing like playing for Seton Hall or St. John's. Uh, yeah, being a Jersey kid, my dad's from New York, so that always brings joy to him.
Seton Hall is a big school, especially at the guard play once again. They had Miles Powell, they've had Isaiah Whitehead, and the list goes on. But what do you like about that? And how much of a pitch are they making about that, saying that they've had guys like Isaiah Whitehead, like Miles Powell go through the program?
Uh, it's actually amazing. My dad's good friends with Tiny Morin. He's like a mentor to me, so like I've been watching Isaiah since he was in high school. So
Mhm.
like seeing him and then do what he did at the college level was something that was dope to see. And I used to play in a lot of players tournaments, so like I always saw Miles Powell around. So
Mhm.
seeing what Miles Powell did was just great.
You're in a special area in New Jersey, New York area where there's elite players all over the place, but especially at that guard position, there's history, there's guys playing college, pro, high school level. Just what's it like growing up in that atmosphere?
It's great, great competition everywhere.
Mhm.
I don't think you're not gonna play any bad competition at the guard level, and everyone's gonna play defense. Everyone's gonna give you your hardest battle. That's what I like about playing in Jersey.
As you mentioned, Isaiah White had some guys you could kind of grow up watching. Who else were players that maybe were a little bit older than you, high school, college, that you really enjoyed watching and kind of looked up to a degree?
Um, Always Shamori Pons. I watch Shamori Pons a lot. Like I said, Tyler Eulis, um, Michael Carter Williams. I watched him
Mhm.
a lot too. Definitely pass first guard. Yeah, those are a couple pass first guard guys I watched growing up.
Being in that area, you guys get that dog mentality, the special kind of branded mentality from being in the New York, New Jersey area. Take us through that and how that's kind of been set in you. What's that dog mentality and what does it mean to represent New Jersey?
Um, it means a lot. Jersey got a lot of good guards, so just being able to represent wherever you go that you're one of those Jersey guards is something that you know you're lucky to have because like Jersey, I think Jersey definitely produces the best guards.
Hmm. When you travel different places for AU or whatever, have you noticed a difference of different kind of states? And how does your kind of New Jersey dog mentality translate when you go to other states?
It trains us a lot. This summer I spent a lot of time in Georgia
Hmm.
because there was nothing really going on. So I got to play with like Team Dickerson down there and like playing the alternate radar tournaments. So like you got to see like the difference between the kids from Georgia and the South compared to Jersey. I felt like Jersey, the kids like in the South they got the dog mentality, but I think Jersey, like the kids got a little bit more flavor. They
Hmm.
got a better IQ and stuff like that. So I think that's what Jersey guards bring to the table. And that's what I was able to see when I was down there.
That's kind of what Corey said too, because a lot of guys in Georgia, especially, he says one of the more places he kind of sees has that dog mentality too. Are there any of the states that you've played against that you see that have that dog mentality? Colin one's in New Jersey, New York, Georgia, and Philadelphia. Are there any other places that you say kind of have the dog mentality?
Oh yeah, none Texas guards got it.
Hmm.
In Florida,
Hmm.
they got that dog mentality for sure.
Absolutely. Well, out of other schools that have been recruiting you, maybe not offered you, who else is showing you a lot of interest right now?
Michigan, Creighton,
Hmm.
Vanderbilt, Stanford, and recently Georgia and Georgia Tech.
Michigan's an interesting one. I think a lot of guys have turned their eyes there for many reasons. One is that they're obviously successful. They had their first loss yesterday, but former NBA player Juwan Howard, he's putting together a winning program. What do you like about them?
I just like whatever the everything that they're doing over there. They changed the program a lot. I feel like
Mhm.
Coach Juwan's doing a great job with the guys, and I think they're like changing it for the better.
Mhm.
And I like how like they're well team rounded. Like they're all about winning, nothing else, and like you could definitely see that in their record. So yeah.
As a former NBA player, guy's been involved in NBA program for a long time. How appealing is that being able to just play for a coach that's done what you ultimately want to do someday?
No, it's actually crazy. Like when I was on the phone with Coach Isley, he talked about like me making the move to Blair,
Hmm.
and he was just like, it's the best decision for you. And he talked about my ceiling, and like he said, he doesn't really see a ceiling in my game. He think I can go beyond my expectations as long as I work. But like hearing a guy that played in the NBA, that's something that like touches you a lot because he played at the level that you want to get to. So
Hmm.
that's definitely something I look at.
You said Georgia's recently getting involved in you too, and Coach Korean is an incredible coach, especially with those guards right now. We see countless guards from Victor Oladipo, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Edwards, Severe Wheeler even right now. But what do you like about Georgia and just seeing his track record at that guard position?
Uh, well, right now I know they got KD Johnson as well, Severe
Mhm.
Wheeler, and he put on a show against Auburn. So like I was watching that game as well. Great game. I think he's doing an amazing job with the guards, especially last year with Anthony Edwards and like all the guards that you mentioned. I feel like Coach Crean and the staff is doing their best to help those guards next level.
And Georgia Tech too. They're known as a New York, New Jersey kind of area that go there. They have the track record. Kenny Anderson, Stephon Marbury, ton of New York, New Jersey presence come from there. How do you like that, and what does that kind of appeal to you?
Uh, Definitely appeals a lot. You know, I like what Georgia Tech is doing with their guards as well. They're
Mhm.
really guard heavy. I like the way Jose is really poised. He plays with good pace, and I think that's why they won a couple of their games this year, like against some big time teams, like against Kentucky and UNC.
Absolutely. Let's go into your game a little bit more. Looking at some of your film, watching you, and hearing from other coaches, you're a three-level scorer, and that's what a lot of guys like too. You can score from the three at high level, mid range, get to the rim. How have you developed all those aspects so early on?
Um, just work, like a lot of work, a lot of watching film, while training, doing a lot of film, working with pace, learning. I think what bettered me is seeing how like other guys in the league play. I think that helped a lot. Like watching one of my favorite players to watch, and a lot of people say I'll play like him is like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him play, he plays with great poise, pace, and I think that's better in my game as well.
You have that size. You're 6'4", could still be growing some too. How have you learned to utilize that 6'4", that bigger size against other guards?
Um, just play low,
Mhm.
knows when to use your body. Sometimes you got to get your shot over smaller defenders, and I think it only helped me for the better. You know, using your body for the rim and using my length, that helps a lot as well when I'm going up against big defenders.
You made another move a little bit ago too. It's for EYBLYs. You're heading over to PSAs. Take us through that and why that's this program you want to go with.
Like I said before, you know, the guard play, and
Mhm.
I think it was a better opportunity for me to get to play against better competition. And I love what Coach Munch and Coach Casey and the staff are doing over there with their guys, getting them all to good places for academic, but also to play basketball.
Mhm.
And that was part of my decision to make that move.
I said in the beginning that you now moved into top 30 now. Rivals came with their first 2023 ones, and eventually when the other ones update, you'll probably be in there too. But just seeing that, I know rankings might not be the biggest thing, but just seeing that people are starting to recognize you, view you as one of the better players in this class, what does that mean to you?
Uh, it's an honor. Like not everybody gets ranked. A lot of people working to get ranked, but like it's an honor. But like I just gotta just keep working. I don't really stay like heavy on that stuff. I know what I gotta do to get better. So yeah.
You still do have 3 more years left of basketball to play, and hard thing for guys to be able to still maintain that ranking or still be a top player throughout your entire career. How do you plan to be able to remain, if not even get better, and improve your ranking status and just kind of become a better player and not fall off for the next 3 years?
Um, just staying in the gym. That's pretty much it. Never get too satisfied. Never get a big head. Try not to listen to what other people gotta say. Just focus on yourself and get ready for the next level.
Couldn't agree more, man. Well, your season's gonna get going pretty soon now. Hopefully, it all goes smoothly. We'll know COVID's still a factor. We'll see how that affects it. But right now, you guys have a season upcoming. Blair Academy, a top level team. What's your goal, though? You come out here. We don't know exactly what your role will be with all the top guards out there, too. But what do you want to achieve? What do you want your goals to be for this year?
Uh, my goal this year is to like just to come in and learn,
Mhm.
um, get better in all aspects of my game, become a more of a leader, vocal leader,
Mhm.
and just help in any way I could do.
And so you have a guy in Jaylen and Kyle Otega, all of them on the rotation. Where do you kind of see yourself being? Will you be like probably one of the first guys off the bench? Do you think you'll be starting? How do you kind of plan for your role to be this year?
I'm not really sure as of right now. I mean, obviously, hopefully being starting five, but I'm really not that sure.
Mhm.
But I feel like if we're all on the court together, I mean, I feel like no one can stop us. So yeah.
And one guy specifically, I've talked to him quite a few times, and he really is known as one of the better leaders in the entire country, and that's Jaylen Blakes. He is obviously a guy that doesn't care about his points and all that. He just sets up his teammates. He's a true leader in the locker room. How excited are you to learn from a guy like that?
I'm really excited. You know, I played with Jalen like when I was younger,
Mhm.
and he's always been like had that dog mentality, been all about winning. I remember we were losing a game, and he took like three charges. It was like crazy, but he's all about winning, and that's what I like about him. And I can't wait to work out and get better with him.
Did any of those guys have any impact or try to recruit you over to play at Blair Academy?
Uh, Probably, yeah, definitely Kyle. Uh, Kyle was trying to get me there, and obviously playing with Otega and stuff like that, he's trying to get me over there as well.
And New Jersey is not going to be an easy state to play in. We know there's tons of talent to go up against this year, but whatever your ultimate goal is for this year, how do you guys become state champion? How do you guys become to finally maybe even the best team if there's not a tournament?
I think just playing as one. I mean, that's basically the best thing that you could do. Can't be all about yourself, obviously, but I think playing as one and playing together, those take teams a long way.
Having your bio butterfly, take us through what that means and why it's there.
Uh, Butterfly. I mean, I just had that there for like a couple years now.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't really know. I just got it there.
No doubt. Well, one thing I was like wrapping up with is discussing your legacy, and I think all guys want to create that for themselves. So when you are done playing basketball in the future, what do you ultimately want to walk away with being remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be for Chichi both on and off the court?
And I was on the court. I was a good point guard, good teammate,
Mhm.
someone that was gonna go to work no matter what time of the day was or whenever it was. I was gonna always put that work in and off the court. A good mentor, someone to go to if needed. Yeah, so something like that.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, and I can't wait to see what God got next for you, man. Of
Thank you.
course, I was welcome on, man. God bless.
God bless.